Yata Hay from New Mexico, Mountaintop Bob. New Mexico Outdoors, a Mountaintop Bob. Okay, so I got like 35 videos, 30 something videos up so far, and I've taken a couple weeks. I haven't put anything out there. I've been studying, watching YouTube about how to make YouTube videos and do them better. So they tell me that you have to do 100 before you can ever even start getting anywhere. So I got a long ways to go and plenty of time to play. So I'm out here playing this morning, making a video, and I'm not sure what it's going to be about. I did want to talk about a couple things that I've been seeing on the internet since I live in New Mexico, and what you're looking at, that hill over there where the sun's fixing to come up over that is the nation, and the Navajo Nation. So, wow. I've really been watching a lot of videos from a guy. His name is Wally Brown, and he is a Navajo historian who is 100% Navajo, as per one of his videos. And what he has taught me over the last week and a half, binge watching his videos every morning from, I'm supposed to be out here doing the stuff that he talks about, and I'm in there watching him. And a lot of weird stuff happened during it too. The first morning I was really watching him, I was comparing stuff he was saying to my life and how it happened. And how it's happened over the last 68 years, 64 of them I can remember. Parts of a little bit here and there, not too much. Anyway, so I guess this morning, the last video I watched, and I had to watch it a third time, second this morning and a third time this morning, and it's about the word sorry. And the Navajo have no word for sorry. They never say, I am sorry. However, what they do have is a strong sense, the only way I can say it is fair play. They have a strong, traditionally speaking, according to Wally Brown, they have a strong sense of being forgiving, being giving, being helpful, and not holding grudges. So right off the bat, I come here and I did something that I can't say I'm sorry about because they have no real word for that. So I have to ask for forgiveness for assuming that people that were trying to help me were, I'm asking, well, and all they were asking for was what it cost them to come and help me. And I insisted on paying more without knowing that that is not their way. So I'm asking the Dene for forgiveness for that little foul up. And I've only been here 2 years. I'm still learning. Yada Hay from New Mexico, and it's looking like we're fixing to have a sunburst, and I don't see a lot of red in the clouds. Boy, it's a shame. Usually all that gray would be turned brilliant bright red this time of the morning, but not today. It's not going to play. But we do get to see a sunburst. Here it comes. Well, that brings me to some stuff that I learned from Wally Brown, and that I want to talk about. First of all, once the sun come on up, first of all, we're looking to the east, watching the sun come up, and that's a really sacred direction for them. They have 4 sacred numbers, or 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is their sacred numbers. 4 sacred numbers. Listen to Wally Brown. He'll tell you all about it a lot better than I can. But anyhow, just maybe I can get you a little interested in it. They talk about how archaeologists and scientists and this and that think they came from a across the ice bridge, and that they're from the mongrels or whatever over that way. But their traditional teachings teach them they came from the east. And a guy was actually on the internet this morning I was watching. I found a video that's got some artifacts and stuff here from Babylonian times that would have came from the east. The Navajo say they came across wide, fast-flowing waters, and they say that that is the Mississippi and or the Missouri rivers. The Navajo believed when they came here that there was people here already, and that would be the Anasazis, I think. Again, I'm not all that up. I'm just now learning this. It's so interesting though. So the Navajo believe that the Anasazi, and they pronounced it a whole different way. It's A Nasasa, I think is how Wally Brown pronounces it. Or the ancient ones that were here, and they did, and Dene actually is two words, which means you come from above, and our, or the Navajos, holy people live up there, and so we're up there to the east. Anyway, so enough about that, because I don't know enough about it to be trying to talk for them guys, but they can sure do a good job explaining it. So they come from the east, they got here, they're not part of the Anasazi, Anasasa. They left problems to the east to come out here to find peace. They found it. They have 4 sacred directions, and east is blue, and it's represented by the turquoise that they wear. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but the blue turquoise represents east. And then the top color of the rainbow, I guess, is red. See on here, and I got this ring at Cherokee, North Carolina, by the way. I didn't get it out here. The red is represents the top color of the rainbow, and the way home, when they leave this plane and they go to the next plane, that's the road to follow, the red road. That's why red is such a sacred color to them. And then on the other side of the ring over here, there's a spiral. And I think how he explained it was the Anasazi, the Anasasa, and I think I'm pronouncing that pretty close to right, called them field people, simply because they taught their young at around 4 years old that they were the beginning of a long line of can't say ancestors, but future generations that would come after them. And I think that's what that circle is, a circle of life that's never ending. And I think that's how that goes. Don't hold me to it. Ask Wally Brown. Let's see. That his channel is Navajo Teachings. I think is the name of his channel, by the way. So I haven't really learned how to put stuff at the bottom or the top, or all of that on my videos yet. I'm just learning how. It's a little chilly out here. I'm starting to feel a little bit hypothermic. But I'm gonna let the sun come on up and see if it'll turn the sky red at all. I'm going to end this with saying thank you to the Dene, the Navajo. And one thing I can remember, Navajo, the word comes from the Spanish when they came down, and they got the word from the Anasazi or the Anasasa, however how you want to pronounce that. And the Anasasa called them Navajo, which meant field people. I think that's the way he described it. And again, that's the little spiral on my ring represents that. So, and then it got converted from Navajo that the Spanish used, and it went to Navajo, which ended in H-O instead of J-O, and then today's spelling is Navajo, which ends in a J-O. So that was cool to learn. I really like learning the stuff that I learned about the Native Americans from the Native Americans. When I see somebody talking about the Native Americans, their history or whatever, and they're not Native American, I question it a little bit. The guy this morning was not. He was talking about the red-headed giants and where all the people came from, artifacts found in the Grand Canyon, and it went on and on and on. I enjoy that. I'm glad that there's people out there trying to get this research and find out what the correct history of the world really is. However, I like getting my history from people who lived it and got it from others who also lived it, and it was handed down to them from others who lived it. So that's what I got to say about it. And again, thank you, my Navajo friends, for putting up with me here. I hope I'm being a good citizen. I'll try not to make too many mistakes. I'm learning more and more about your culture, so I don't step on my foot or stick my foot in your mouth or in my mouth. I'm sorry. There we go again. So I don't stick my foot in my mouth when I come in contact whenever we see each other. And for the folks that's not living in New Mexico, where I live here, if you go to the store, you're going to be around Pueblos. And the Pueblonians, as it turns out, are not Navajo. I made that mistake as well. I have to ask for forgiveness for that. That I made that mistake, that the Pueblonians are not Navajo. Navajo are not Pueblonians. Navajo are not Anasazi or Anasasis. They are Navajo. And so the Zunis and the Pueblos and the Hopi and various other tribes and this is a word I could never, clan. I cannot get clan to stick in my head. Clans, they're different. There's a lot of similarities. Their languages are different. A lot of similarities. And I'm going to part by saying that we live near Thoreau, which is a border town on the Navajo Nation. And so 90% of the business that the little stores get down there are from the Navajo. So if you're passing through here and you're from back east and unfamiliar with our country and our history, and you pass through here and you hear these folks speaking a language that seems foreign to you, and if you feel offended because you're an American and you expect everybody to speak American, understand these people are speaking American. You are not. So before you tell them to go back where they come from here. I had to throw that in there because I've seen it happen, and it really, I just shot a 30-minute video and run out of time, and what I was finishing up to say there was that I seen that happen where someone was told to go back where they come from because the person standing behind them in line simply didn't understand the language that they were hearing. So that's my pet peeve for today. I'm going to throw that out there. So if you're passing through Thoreau and you hear people speaking a language that you're unfamiliar with, it is not Spanish, it's not French, it's not Mexican, it is Navajo. And before you tell them to go back where they come from, they are where they come from. You are not. So that being said, seen that happen. All right, so that's the end of this. I'm trying to learn words. The only one that I really learned other than Yatahe is, see if I can remember it. It is Belladonna. Belladonna. Belagana with a G, Belagana. Look that up. Learn what that word means. I took offense to it when I first heard it, and this morning Wally Brown explained to me what it was and what it stood for and what it says. All right, I'll throw it out there. Some folks believe it means those or he or ones who dig, and that it comes from the time when the white people came here and started digging in the earth for the gold. Because they believe that the only thing you can take from earth is what the earth gives you. So if it's not laying on the top, you're not supposed to have it. There you have that. Let's see. Then Wally Brown said that Belagana means people with white hands or white eyes, or it's just white people in general. So believe whichever one you want. I kind of believe a combination of two, but that's what I have to say I am, is Belagana, because I have no proof otherwise. Although I got a long history all the way through Florida, all the way back to the 1850s. My Florida heritage goes back to the 1850s. So, there's another tidbit of information that I found out. The Seminoles seem to think they're the only tribe that was never conquered, and they weren't. I'll give them that, they weren't. But as it turns out, let me see if I can get the one. I think it's the Hopi here in the Pueblos never signed a contract and were never completely defeated by the American Army either. Their reservation stuff didn't happen until late in the game, and you'll have to listen to them guys tell you the history of that, but they don't feel like they were ever completely defeated either. So that's two Indian tribes that weren't completely defeated by our military, that are still in their, what they consider their homelands, although the Everglades was the Calusa Indians' homelands, and I don't know how much Calusa is still down there. Indian stuff is so it's entertaining, but it's just, I can't get enough of it. I really can't. All right, so enough said. Until the next time, this is Mountaintop Bob, and my channel is New Mexico Outdoors Mountaintop Bob, although Susie says I should change that to Nature. Nature, New Mexico, I don't know how I would say that. So for the moment, it's New Mexico Outdoors with Mountaintop Bob, and I'm watching a dove fly by. Yeah, I got a little bit of ADHD. All the animals are starting to move around. I'm getting chilly. I got to go in the house. I'm going to miss you guys. Everybody have a good day. This is Bob signing off from the nation.